Begin by opening Adobe Illustrator by clicking on its icon. Open the File menu and select New. You will be given a dialog box to choose specifics for the project. Changing the unit of measure will give several options, but we are working for inches here, and 8 by 10 is fine. The white space is your artboard, which you will add elements to. Change the workspace to Essentials if it's not there already. Then let's pull some menus out from the menu bar that we will be using often in this project: the color menu and the gradient menu. From the toolbar menu, choose the shape tool. Click and hold and you will see the various shape options. I will be starting with the ellipse tool. Click and drag to create a shape. By default, you will have a white fill and a black stroke with this path. Fill is the interior shape and color. Stroke is the outside line. Click on the black arrow icon at the top of the toolbar. This is called the Select tool. We use this to select and manipulate each object in our image. It can also be accessed by hitting the key V on your keyboard. At the base of the toolbar is the palette menu for the fill and the stroke. It is here you can choose each one individually and manipulate their appearance. Clicking on the stroke icon, which looks like a frame, you activate that menu. You can then turn off the stroke by clicking at the far right of the 3 boxes below, the one with the red strike through it. The middle box activates a gradient, and the left box activates a uniform color. On the top main menu bar, you will see the stroke box. Here you can increase or decrease the width of the stroke, that is, the line around the image. Next to that box, you will see a box to change the character of that line. It is set now to uniform, but you can change that to have a varied line weight, as you can see. Now click back to the fill icon and let's add some color to this shape. When active, you can change the color of a fill simply by choosing a color from the color picker. I will need some eyes, so using the shape tool I will create 2 more ellipses. With my first ellipse, I will change the color. Then I can create a duplicate object here by clicking on the object once it is set and hitting OK on the resulting dialog box. Using the Select tool, we can rotate the object and change its proportions. Let's make some pupils for the eyes with the Shape tool again. I can use the black and white palette to quickly modify the color, although by doing so I'll have white strokes. Select the white arrow from the toolbar. This is called the Direct Select tool and is used to select a particular object within a grouping. It is also accessed by hitting the A key. Select the black dots and then turn off their strokes. Now let's use the Select tool, or V, and select the eyes to move them and scale them in relation to the emoji head. Create other elements, choose colors for them in the way that you have already learned, and place them to the head. Another useful tool is the Line tool, indicated by a diagonal line just below the Type tool. Click and drag to create a line to the desired width and let go. Under the Pen tools, we can select a tool called the Anchor Point tool, which we will use to manipulate the lines with what are called Bezier handles and curves. By clicking and dragging on the stroke, that is the line, you see that you can bend it. This can also be done by clicking on the outside points of the stroke and dragging a Bezier handle, which you can turn to modify the curve of the line asymmetrically. Now let's use the direct select tool, or A, on the keyboard to select the ears. I want to put them back in space or lower in the stack of layers. While selected, click on the object menu and scroll to Arrange, and then to Send to Back. This will change the overlap of the object we are using for the ear, placing it behind the head. Now let's use a new tool to create more intuitive paths. It is called the Blob Brush, and it is located under the Brush menu. Click and hold to see its icon revealed, and then select it. We can now use this to create painterly marks, at least by comparison to the precision of the former tools. Now let's select another tool from the pen tool set, the original pen tool. Click and drag several times to create a series of interlocking lines, closing the shape by bringing these lines back to the original line's endpoint, creating a unified path. We could then add a fill to this path of the same color and add it to the rest of the face. Now use the direct select tool, selecting the nose shape to convert it to a blend mode in order to add more dimension to the face. This of course is optional. While active, go to the gradient menu and drag our yellow down into the gradient of light to black. You can use the sliders in the gradient menu to pull up a slider over the object by clicking on the gradient tool. In the gradient menu box, you can modify the angle of the layout of tones by using the angle presets. Doing the same for the eyes, we can see upon choosing a new color that we must first remove the yellow from the slider. This is done by grabbing the yellow marker and pulling it away from the slider into the gray space below. You'll see that it disappears. I'm going to change the color of the mouth by direct selecting it and picking a different color from the color picker. You can also change the character of the stroke by selecting the line while it's active, choosing from the brushes menu a different brush texture. Now upon completion, save your emoji by going under File, Save As, using the AI file, and then as well saving it as a PDF in a similar manner.